Good evening, friends. Welcome to this episode of the Thursday Thoughts. On the 14th of December, that is just 2 days ago, the religious India, all over India, in the temples and all the religious places, India was celebrating the 5158th anniversary of the epic Bhagavad Gita. Yes, you heard it right. 5158 years ago, this epic had come into being. That means it has traveled more than 5,000 years and it's relevant today, more relevant than ever before. That is the beauty of this particular epic, this particular book, holy book. And how the whole Bhagavad Gita of 700 verses has been written. If you go to the details, I'm not going to the details that much because I'm not aware, I don't know. As they say, every time you read Bhagavad Gita, you come out with a new experience, a new meaning of life. As we all know, Bhagavad Gita answers the questions from a very, very commoner's point of view for daily life, the problems that we face, the dilemmas that we face in our daily lives, every moment of our lives. The answers are there very much in this holy book of 700 slokas or verses. This, as we all know, has got 18 chapters, which can be roughly divided into three categories of chapters, 6 each, as they are called the Karma Yoga, the Bhakti Yoga, and the Jnana Yoga. First, you work hard, Karma Yoga, then you have passion for your work, that is Bhakti Yoga, then you will have the wisdom of how to go about your life, that is the Jnana Yoga. Friends, when we discuss about this particular epic, and which was written 5,000 years back, there were no religions at that time. So this doesn't belong to any particular religion at all. It belongs to each and every human being. It transcends religions because that time there was only humankind, and it addresses through the question and answer session, as we all know, when the Dharma Yuddha, that is the war of Kurukshetra, started. Arjuna, the warrior, requested his charioteer or his guide, Sri Krishna, the God himself, to take his chariot to the center of both the enemies so that he can see. And what he does, he drops his bow and arrow, his Gandiva, and tells, "Oh my God, I cannot fight this war. I have to fight this war with my own people." That is what the Bhagavad Gita starts with, Arjuna Vishada Yoga, the first chapter. And then from second chapter, God answers his doubts through Sankhya Yoga. And it goes on into 18 different chapters. Friends, if you see critically how the book has been evolved or written, and if you see any of the management studies, case studies today, they are much alike. First, you define your question, then you write the synopsis, Sankhya Yoga, chapter number 2. Then you go on to do the work, Karma Yoga, and deep study, passionate study, Bhakti Yoga, and finally wisdom dawns on you, Jnana Yoga. It's so much akin to nowadays what we call as the management tutorial. The other day, I was watching the Sri Venkateshwara Bhakti channel, in which daily 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. in the evening, Acharya Kuppa Vishwanath Sharma ji explains each and every sloka in detail with so many stories woven around each sloka. And he was explaining the 45th and 46th shlokas of the 18th chapter, that is Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, on the last chapter. And you know what he goes on to explain? He says, whatever may be your dharma, that is duty, you do it passionately. You do it passionately, you do it with utmost passion, and you will attain moksha. There will be no failure in your life if you love your work. My God, this was akin to any of the management tutorials that we come across. So there is nothing in the world which is not there in Bhagavad Gita. And if it is not there in Bhagavad Gita, it is not there anywhere else. So it contains every aspect of human life, how to go about it, how to be successful. Dharmam chara, satyam vada. I think time has come for us to go back to those old verses. So slowly I'm into a case where I'm trying to understand, if I have not read these epics like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Upanishads, what is the reason? Because I didn't study Sanskrit. The language Sanskrit has to be made compulsory in each and every school across the world, because it doesn't belong to any particular religion, my dear friends. It transcends all boundaries of country, language, gender, religion, faith, whatnot. It is the basic human way of living, a righteous way of living. You will find answer to all your problems. That is what Albert Einstein had to say when he went through this book called the Bhagavad Gita. So friends, let us go back to our childhood, when our school teachers in a remote village in this country told us, Satyam vada, tell the truth, dharmam chara, do your duty righteously. I think it's time you go back to our basics and let us try to understand the gist of living, that is karmanye vadhikaraste ma phales kadachana. Let's keep doing our work without expectation of any results whatsoever. If you are good, your goodness is the reward for being good. That is what is the bottom line, is the central theme of living. And same is told in so many different ways in this book called the Bhagavad Gita. That's all, dear friends. Till we meet next time. God bless. Bye bye.